Howdy folks, Scott back here again. We're going to reel this thing back just a little bit before we carry on any further and actually work today, as it says in the title, on our strumming. And I'm going to do finger picking next, and then we'll continue from where we left off at the chords and so forth. Sure, all of the stuff that we've been doing, all that kind of stuff, all fine and dandy, all perfect, but nothing will get accomplished if you're a horrible rhythm guitar player. I'd rather have a great rhythm guitar player than a superb lead guitar player. Rhythm is where it's all at. The lead stuff, that's just something you get into when you get into it, and I'll get you into it. I've already got you into it. Anyway, so from what we've done already with just the D, G, and A chords, you can do straight strumming like I showed you already with the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, which was a one thing I want to show you, which is great to have, and all these are great to have, are just variations of that, and then totally left field strumming patterns. But just the fact that we can change or just simply add one note for a that's a big step for a lot of people, and it's a nice one to have. Okay, so of course, very country, not really folky or anything, it's just country. Another one being the particular ups and downs of so we have a lot of this kind of thing going on, chunkas, got each of those, and which comes right into just major control, honestly, with both hands, and both hands again, and trying to actually feel the beat, the rhythm, everything would be like this. So it just goes all over the place. So let's just get right into it and get your strumming hand working, whichever one that is, your right or your left. Okay, so let's just get this down just a little bit. I'm going to use the other pick today. Again, that's the Jim Dunlop, what is it, 7.73 millimeter torque on the front. And again, it's just the one I prefer when I'm using these, and again, showing this hand, great contrast against the sound hole for you guys. Okay, I'm strictly going to use the D chord for the majority of this, and then I'll throw the other two chords, G and A, at the very end, because this is what we're concerned with today. Okay, so we have been doing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, which is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Okay, so we're doing the root note, which is D, D string, then strum down on the and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, now there's a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. We will get to a 1E and a 2E. Okay, these are all viable things, and you'll say them this way, you'll play them that way. You'll get over the point where you're saying 1E and a 2E. You know, that'll pass and you don't have to do it no more. But it's very important that we do so for teaching. Okay, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 is what we're going to play now. So we're still going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and, but we say 1 and finish it with a P on the end. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Easiest way to remember it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, instead of 1 and okay, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, so nobody will teach you that way by the word up. That's just a Scott Grove original. Okay, now that's great for all kinds of things because it just totally depends on the kind of music you're making. Okay, 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. Same thing as just going very fast. No difference. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay? So that would be that. If you want to get into a waltz pattern, which is nice to get right off the bat, just so you know that there's different things going on instead of just counting to 4. Okay? 1 and 2, or 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and okay, it should be counted like this, right? 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. Okay, but we're just going to need 1. Okay, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. Okay, so it's 3/4 time is what they call it, just because you're counting, you know, to the 3, 2 and 3 and we're not doing and up, but you can. It depends on what you want. 1 and 2. Okay, but if you really want to make it sound like a hardcore waltz, give it 2 very prominent strokes down on the on the 2 notes after the 1. 1. Okay, so that is a waltz. It's just one time, one way. Okay, there I'm doing down, up, and the time that it took down, down before. So in case of this, instead of this, I'm going 1, down, up. So we're still doing both of the 2 down things, but between them, we're coming back up. But there's not really any hardcore punches or stabs or whatever you want to call them in the waltz thing. Like now, thing that makes it sound better, which I'll show you right after this, is this that you keep hearing and wondering what's going on, is the separation of the root note and playing what's called the fifth. I'll show you that right after this. That. Okay, in order to sound like a circus or a definite old-time waltz, you know, it's just a matter of how authentic of the time period of the songs you want to make it. Okay, that there's a really great modern thing, modern being like from the 80s on, when you're going like that. Okay, that would give you something like Mamas Don't Let Your Babies Grow Up to Be Cowboys, something like that. Like your cowboys ain't easy to love, but the harder the hold. They'd rather give you a song than diamonds or gold. Okay, so that's the more modern one. When you take it back to times before that, all the way up to when guitar began, it's just, you know, my baby fell out of the window. I'm sure that his head would be split. But good luck with him that morning. He fell in a pile of shaving cream. Be nice and clean. Shave every day and you'll always feel clean. Alright. I cracked me up. So, the root and fifth thing that I've been playing, even with the 1 and up 2 and up 3 and up 4 again. Okay, what's happening there, because you will need to see this hand to see what's going on. It's called a root fifth. We'll learn theory later on, and I'll show you what the root and the fifth is. The root of each chord is just the note that actually names the chord. So if you're playing a D chord, you play the D note first. 1 and up 2 and up 3. Okay, so you're going to do down, and then we're going to hit the fifth, which is actually a note that's below it or above it. But when we get to our actual theory, it will be the fifth in a count of 7 up to 8. It's the old do, re, mi stuff. There's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so it's the fifth note in that scale. And that's coming up in about 5 more lessons. Okay, so right now, just to get it going, we're going to do the D note. Down, up, down, up. So, D. Okay, now let's just do it here. It depends on whether you're doing fast stuff, slow stuff, waltz. Anytime you want to use it, let's just put it there. You are emulating the bass guitar, is actually what's happening. So you'll have to get actually in sync with what you're hearing the bass guitar doing on anything, and see if the acoustic guitar is matching up with it. Or if you're just playing guitar solo, then you can just put it wherever the heck you want. But it's going to be there quite a bit, just for variations, and so it's not so... You don't want to play like that. It's not good. That's when you're no longer a guitar player, you're a guy that owns a guitar, or a gal. Okay, so we have D, then we're going to hit the A string, then down up, and the D string, string, D string, down, up, A string, my bad. Okay, and then I'll show you what I was doing there in just a second, and I'm going to zoom through the rest of this. Then when we went to G, we're going to go, since we're on the low E string and there's no place to play a note up there, we go the G note, and now we have to play the D, because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that note is D, so we got an open D string, so we go G, and D, G, D. Okay, and when you're in A, you can hit the A, E, because A is 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 up is an E note. And that's what's called octaves. Okay, so we got A, E, A, E, back to D. D, A string, D, boom, 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 boom. That's called 5, 6, 7, 8. It's all part of that scale too. So right now you get to do it by going open string, 2nd fret, 4th fret, then right back to your D chord. Okay, so I was like, okay, that's actually you with your pinky. You hit the D string, okay, down, up. But look, Mr. Pinky Friend is not pushing down, but just shutting your strings up. It's muting, is what it's called. Like you hit a mute button on your TV. Then you use a little bit less of that, or a little more. Let some of it ring out, not all of it, but just check it out. Getting into some Johnny Cash sound and stuff that way. Okay, so muting. Down, up, still. 1, down, up, 2. 1. And if you let a little more out by opening the gate here. Okay, so now I'm taking this chord. Okay, going. I'm actually taking the chord, letting loose of it, so it's muting. I'm not pushing down. So I'm going. So just like my fingers look, that's how it sounds. Muting it because I've got everything shut up, and I've got that part of my hand again touching the low strings, and then I'm shutting up these strings by simply not playing them, just holding them so they'll go clicky clicky, and it'll only play the notes that I push it down. Just taking it backward or forward. Okay, so that's basically how that there goes. That is our basic intro to strumming. Okay, all kinds of fun there. Me and my camera guy are out of sync here. There we go. Once again, I'm Scott Grove, and welcome to the acoustic guitar channel that I'm starting here for y'all. And if there's anything you'd like covered in this entire channel, please let me know, and I'll throw it in the appropriate slot as far as learning goes that I think it should be in. That's why I put the strumming in here, because we're getting all these chords out of the way, but maybe some of you don't know what to do with the strumming hand, so We'll cover finger picking next, and we'll still cover both of these things as we go, as deemed necessary. I'll just let you know. So you guys be super, and I'll catch you on lesson number 6. Again, be finger picking. No more guitar picks for a little of it. Okay? Catch you then. Later.